Well, hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and it's absolutely brilliant to be back out heading off on another wild camping adventure. First thing you might notice, I'm wearing a very old jacket, very poignant and lots of great memories. I bought this when I was 18 and I'm 42 on Monday, so you can do the maths and work out how old this is. Yeah, I bought it from Ellis Brigham's in Liverpool when I was back at uni. Spent most of my student loan, the first instalment on it, and it's still going strong. So we'll have a chat about this later and about how some brands have changed over the years. But this was back in the day, the Mira Peak, absolute fantastic jacket. I'm in the Hilleberg Soulo Black Label. I'll chat to you about that. There's been quite a lot of excitement over other tents which are believed to be, you know, potential competitors for it. We'll see about that if I'm able to get my hands on one. And there's a bit of snow on the ground. There's going to be some great views. I've got the drone. I've got a few craft beers because this is my 42nd birthday celebration. Although it's not until Monday, but by the time the video comes out it will be. So stay with us until the end. I'm really excited. What an absolute day. And the snow creating absolute scenes on the mountains here in Snowdonia. I'll bring you back as we gain some height. Snow heading in. It just started, only very light. The weather is coming from the northeast at the moment, and there's a front passing across, and we're going to have a wind direction change to northwesterlies as it blows across the UK. But yeah, there's definitely some tasty weather blowing in, and we might have to put a few more layers on. I'm nice and warm. I still haven't got my gloves on because you're working, your blood's pumping, your blood's reaching those extremities. It's only when you stop and talk to cameras that you start feeling it. But we're going to press on, and it's a steady ascent up into the snow line, and then the scenery's really going to change, hopefully get really spectacular. So we'll press on. So just into the snow line, and yeah, it's lovely. Just getting a flat bit, I'm going to slide off, but yeah, lovely alpine feeling, and the sun's just peeked out, but yeah, there's not going to be much of that, I don't think. But it's so nice just to get up in some snow, possibly the last of the season, you know, and make the most of it. So yeah, I've never done this route before. I've just done a little bit of recceing on Google and OS Maps, and it looks promising, to be fair. Sometimes, you know, it's a little bit sort of anxiety inducing, isn't it? You know, coming out solo on a mountain wild camp that you've never done before, but it's always good to push yourself, test those boundaries. If you've got the right kit and the gear and people know where you're going, well, go and have a go, and you know, push yourself. That's the way you grow, isn't it? Pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. I'll put the camera away as it's fairly steep terrain, and I don't want to slip. I want my hands just in case. And then it flattens out a little bit further above, and we'll bring you back. Time for a spot of lunch. Find a nice flat rock, get some food down us, and take in that lovely view. Bit of cloud over the Glyderau. Absolutely fantastic. That's what it's all about. Couldn't get better. These conditions, absolutely fantastic. Time for some lunch. There we go, that's what we're going to have. Tuna salad. Well, finally we've reached our destination, and it was worth the beasting to get here, and hopefully the added luxuries in the pack is going to make for a really relaxing, comfortable and enjoyable camp. Just look at that, the low clouds over Trafan. It's really sort of ominous and intimidating. It's a rugged landscape, And with this low cloud blasting around, it really adds to that feeling. I'm going to take my pack off, claim the summit, and then I'm going to find a nice pitch which gives me the views. We're not going to get much protection from the wind, but it's not forecast to be over 20 miles an hour, 25. So it's a little bit blustery, and we just got the normal pegs, but wow, what a landscape, definitely worth it. And this is what it's all about. This is why you push yourself to get this reward. So we'll get this summit. I mean, we could pitch here. It's a little bit of an angle though. This big snow drift. Let's get this one. There we go. Topped out. Yeah, there's a bit of cloud heading in. A bit of clag. Just as we're about to pitch, the descent of the clouds of doom. We'll go over the other side and see what's over here. A little bit of a sprint to warm up, loosen up the bones after that. This is a great plateau to pitch. If we can see off the end here, it's a good option. We've got, you know, not much cover, but yeah, spectacular. Fully guyed out, nicely tensioned, a nice stable design. And it's just like a limpet. In my view, the best, strongest, easiest to pitch one person shelter on the market. When I bought this myself, Hilleberg don't give tents away. It's a fantastic shelter. It's going to keep me safe tonight. Absolutely bomb-proof. Well, it's time to get out of this wind. That was an absolute grueler to get up. Probably in the grand scheme of things, there's people a lot fitter than me, but for me that was a challenge. I've not been out, as people know who regularly watch the channel, as frequently as I used to, and as such I was feeling that one. But you know, there's no rush, you take your time, you get there, it's not a race, and now we're here so we can just relax and enjoy. All I'm going to do is get the tent interior set up, get my mat out, my bag, let that de-loft, or let that loft. I'll talk you through what I've got. I won't go into ins and outs, loads of detail, but yeah, what a fantastic view. Trefan and the Snowdon Horseshoe to my left, fantastic. Chopper's coming back. Well, the helicopter's headed off, I presume towards Bangor, although I can still hear it in the distance. Again, I hope everyone's alright. It's time for the first beer. This is going to be a cheers to the great outdoors and to shortly turning 42. This is a Heathen, a hazy IPA. Oh, that's lovely. Fresh. Ice cold. Oh. Cheers, as always, to the great outdoors and to more wild camping adventures. Yeah, so this coat, it's in need of a little bit of TLC. So 18, 28, 40, 24 years old. There's my rubbish maths. Yeah, 24 years old, and you know, it's still usable. Probably needs a reproof, and some of the elastic is just almost decayed. So I could maybe, you know, feed some through, tie some on, and sort of kind of pull it through. But yeah, I don't think Berghaus anymore, this is just my opinion, is the brand it used to be. It's more of a high seat brand now. Used to make quality outdoor gear, you know, and this jacket is kind of testament to that. Stitching's still fine, a little bit of abrasion. You know, back in the day I was kind of fearless with the lads, running up and down Snowdon, almost You know, Foel Goch, I wouldn't sort of think twice about it in conditions like this too. So it's seen it all, this coat really. And inside it I've got a sprayway fleece which is even older. Anyone from the Liverpool or the Merseyside area, before it was John Lewis, there was a shop called George Henry Lee's. My lovely nan, bless her, she got me this sprayway fleece. It zips into here. I'm gonna put my down jacket on. So I was 14 when my nan got me the fleece inside of here. The elastic's shot, you know, it's got no elasticity really now. But yeah, 14 years old and it's still going strong. A sprayway fleece. Again, another brand which kind of, I don't know, the production gets outsourced and maybe the quality goes down. It's can you blame the brands? You know, if it's cheaper, they've got to try and increase the margins and make a living at the end of the day. It's a sorry state of affairs, isn't it? But when the quality goes down, the product's no longer good. But this is, so I'll look after this. I'll bring it out on special occasions. I'm going to repair it, get it back as good as new and reproof it. But I'm pleased I've got it. If anyone else has got an original Mira Peak, let me know. And did he make a new one? Is there a current version? And if so, what's it like? Yeah, I always keep my down jacket in a dry bag, in its stuff sack. So cheap OEX dry bag, and then the stuff sack it came in. Coming up is the standalone review of the Through Dark Melee jacket, and I'll be sharing my thoughts on whether or not it's a kind of standalone mountain jacket or whether it's maybe a bit of a hybrid and possibly suited to both, or certainly walks, you know, in some colder environments. I checked YouTube this morning and I was so pleased to see I'd hit 21,000 subscribers. That's a great milestone and I'm absolutely over the moon with that, so thanks very much. It's genuinely appreciated, and especially everyone that stuck with the channel whilst I've not been able to get out wild camping much, because my personal circumstances have changed dramatically, and as a result my free time, where it's just me, has reduced dramatically, and I can't come out and do wild camping as much as I could. But the upside of that is I get to spend a lot more family time, and those of you that have followed me throughout know that that is number one. So this is a second. Family always comes first, especially the little ones. So thanks very much to everyone who supports the channel and subscribed. That, you know, takes a couple of minutes out to leave a comment. I try and get back to every single one, and thank you very much to everyone that supports MCM Outdoors through buying me a coffee.
Find a way forward, but here's McAllister on the edge of the penalty area, chips the ball in, there's the header down! Darwin Núñez has done it!
Yes! Last minute! What?
That's it. The boos ring out, and I think that must be out of frustration.
Well, it's not going to be too long until we're thinking about our evening meal. I've gone with a pasta bolognese. It's a Termat one. It's one of my favourites. I have it. I go back to what I like. It's kind of wind-driven, small ice particles at the moment. Luckily, they're not really. They are a bit getting in through tiny gaps. Spindrift. Oh. hitting the eyeballs. Look at that, it's brutal out there. Absolutely brutal. I don't want it to come in because it will invariably melt. Yeah, proper conditions out there now. Oh, right, might be time to have the second beer, then we'll get some tea on. In fact, I think after that, yeah, we'll get the stove fired up. It's starting to accumulate there. You can see on the corner of the tent. I always just give that a minute. There's a brass preheating tube. It's nothing fancy, it's just a bit of physics. And that will heat up. Brass is a good conductor of heat. And the gas that gets ignited is warmer. It warms prior to being ignited. So it's slightly more efficient. Oh, it's lovely and warm in the tent, that. So I always leave it a little bit just before putting my rolling boil kind of output on. Just double check you're stable and then gently increase that. And we are cooking on gas, as they say. Pasta bolognese. This is such a nice tarmac meal. I'm going to have one mouthful, one sip of beer, and then I'm going to eat it in peace. But it just smells lovely. It looks lovely. You won't be able to make it out on that camera, but I don't want to drop it on the mic. Very hearty and warming. Just like the last time I tried it. But it's so nice. If you like your pasta bolognese, that's a good one. So, cheers everyone. Here's to turning 42 and many more years, hopefully, fingers crossed, and being able to get out and do things like this. Cheers. Well, I don't know about you, but I think it's high time we braved it outside, saw what the conditions are doing, and get maybe the last views of the tent. Well, there's still a bit of light around, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my waterproof jacket on, and I'll take you out for one last view around the tent, see what we can see, and then we'll dive back in. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Well, the temperatures out here are absolutely brutal. I had my gloves off for a few moments and yeah, I'm feeling the pain. but really nice. Look at it, it's kind of just magical, isn't it, with the snow blasting down with the wind, especially when it's illuminated with the head torch. You get this weird effect. It's great. Pretty much almost whiteout conditions again. The lights, the Soulo in the distance, our lovely home from home, and we're here on the plateau, on the Glyderau of the Eryri National Park. So I like to, before it freezes, just kick a bit of that. It's the base of the fly. Just a bit of an insurance policy against spin drift throughout the night. Check the guys, they're all okay. That was good fun. Nice little explore. possibly the highest wind chill I've been in, -10. It's definitely going to be a descent with the gloves. We'll have this, we'll have a little look outside the tent, and then we'll get packed away, get off and leave this place as lovely as it was before we got here. Breakfast bar, there's no fancy breakfasts on MCM Outdoors. Convenience, eat that off. And Snowdon looks absolutely epic. Foel Goch, terrifying. Not for me anymore. Those days have gone. Come on, water. That'll do in terms of a boil. That's warm enough for me. There's still a bit left there if you want a second brew. You can take your warm hotels and B&Bs with luxury hot tubs any day, but you do not get this. You do not get this absolute splendour. Nothing. Here's my hotel room. Here's my view. Where you pitch it, this is your home. And wow, yeah. Oh, that's welcoming. Very welcome. It's absolute scenes, isn't it? Well, it's just absolutely magnificent. I've never been treated to a morning like this on a wild camp in my life, ever. Absolutely unbelievable. What a special place. The moon just above that bank of clouds, be barely visible on the camera. The Glyderau, absolutely covered. The col between Trefan and Glyderau. And looking across where we had a wild camp a few years back. A special place. I think it's time, sadly, to start packing up. Well, yeah, I've had an absolutely brilliant time, and this is the best, without being cheesy, the best birthday present you could ask for. 42 tomorrow, and my last day, you know, being 41, spent enjoying this. Money can't buy this. Doesn't matter what tent you have, as long as it can withstand, you know, some reasonable wind and you know what you're doing. Come and have the experience, because it's the experience that counts, not what you're using. As long as it works, as long as it protects you, keeps you safe and doesn't let you down, it doesn't matter what logo's on it. Just find something that works for you and come out and enjoy the experience of it. Right, time to get packed away. So that's it, the end of another fantastic, probably one of my best, most enjoyable wild camps, this time in the Snowdonia National Park in some lovely testing but nevertheless beautiful winter conditions. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment. All this algorithm malarkey, it definitely helps me out, so if you do that I would really appreciate it. If you've got any questions about the kit or gear I've used, let me know in the comments and I'll respond to every single person. I'm a big sort of advocate of getting our younger generation outdoors. Mine aren't ready for conditions like this just yet, but let's get the younger generation too following in our footsteps, and so they've got a life of enjoying what we do too. Absolutely no trace left other than some flattened and melted snow, and that's how it always should be, and if you can do, obviously try and leave it better. Well, that's it for me. I'll see you on the next adventure, and take care.